All right, guys, welcome to midweek review. It's a little different this week. Um, my computer, I finally got my new office set up, or mostly set up, but wouldn't you know, my computer took a poop yesterday. It updated a new Windows version and never opened again. No new Windows version. So I'm doing this on my laptop. I'll be taking my computer in today. Uh, yeah, it's been a fun week. I tell you what, it's been one thing after another with this move. But if you are new to this channel, we're gonna every week, every Sunday, I go through the 28 currency pairs me and my followers trade uh, in Forex, and we go through and we plot support and resistance zones on the daily chart, looking for possible zones where we think there might be a trend reversal or price is definitely going to react to. And then on Wednesdays, I go through and I see how well those predictions are panning out, make adjustments, and see if there's any good trades because I am a mean reversion type trader. So I look for when prices veered way off the mean or the average or the pivot, and I tend to want to take trades back to it. However, when we have weeks like this week, lots of pairs, especially Australian dollar, as you see as we go through Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, euros weakening. A lot of those pairs, when they go on these massive moves, traders like me get caught in a little bit of trouble on weeks like this because they are definitely stretching past their mean and breaking into new areas of trading zones. So let's not waste any more time. Let's jump onto the charts and let's get through it. So let me just make sure my head's in the right spot. There we go. Okay. Again, guys, I apologize for the equipment. Things happen. All right, so we're on Australian dollar, Canadian dollar, and I'm going to go through on the hourly charts, guys, because you can see where in our Sunday setup video we placed we were waiting for price to get into this to look to short, right? And price blew through it, almost retested it, pretty much retested, and then now we see we're in this massive bullish move, and if you trade traders are loving this week or should be loving this week because now we're seeing a decent trend. We have Knoxville divergence post, and guys, look how tight the R2 S2 line is. So this is a gradual up, but because we busted through that area, I'm going to have to move this up, right? Let's go to a higher time frame. I bet you this week we're probably going to have to do a lot of our stuff on a higher time frame because we're going to be adjusting a lot of these. I mean, where we're at right now, that's not a bad area of rejection. It's worthy of looking at, and we're starting to see price react a little bit there, but the more important part is now we move our bullish zone up where the former resistance was. Sorry guys, I'm on a pretty small laptop, something, and then this prediction arrow is no longer valid. I think what I want to see here. Wait a minute. Let's get rid of that. This area was right there. Okay, so we saw the retest. Would have been a great buy trade there. But now, guys, what I'm going to look for on this pair. Oh, come on. There we go. Sorry. I'm going to see what price does at this trend line level right here and probably look to go long. If we get another pull all the way down into this, I'm going to really look long off of that. But like I said, this week's really tricky. It's tricky. It's a tough one. So, and I'm already caught. I'm still caught in some drawdown from the weeks before. So, it's been kind of a slow week for old trader Clayton here. But, we'll just see what happens near the end of the week. It is non-farm payroll week, so there is going to be some pretty crazy stuff happening. Let's jump over to Australian dollar Swiss franc. Kind of see the same thing going on here, right? See this channel we were in? Well, that's gone. And then I want to move this up where that former resistance level was. And now we're going to see if we could play off of this channel. I'm a little reluctant to hit these sell trades. If I start to double top in that zone, I'll look at it. Australian dollar, JPY, same thing, guys. Australian dollar, just crushing it. Now, I did a analysis yesterday. A lot of the Australian dollar pairs, guys, are just getting back to where they were before COVID. If when we get down to EUR, AUD, you can clearly see it. If you go back to February, that's where price is getting back to now on that pair. Here's a winning trade that we put in. Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. This was a call out I did on TradingView, and it's pretty simple because these two pairs were kicking everyone's butt. So why not look at how they're doing against each other? And Australian dollar usually wins that battle. I say that usually. So it was a pretty easy short, especially when we got into this range here, saw the divergence. It does tell me we got some hope on the shorts that we're seeing on these other Australian dollar pairs. But this one was one of the few good ones this week. Here's a bad one, right? We pretty much called the same thing on the Australian dollar, US dollar, but that one didn't work out, as you can see. So let's get rid of that. Now, guys, I won't be bullish. I might be bullish if we get moved back down to this area. And guys, being bearish where we're at, it's really tough. I'm going to have to see some double tops, triple tops, that consolidation that we want to see up here before I jump right in. Canadian dollar, Swiss franc. Here's another trade call out. As you guys can see, as I explained earlier, I'm looking for a mean reversion, right? So, I target these R2s. Well, guess what? Never happened. It blew right past that R2. Man, I'm getting rid of this thing. Let's just cover it up there. Now you're starting to see that consolidation we want to see, right? So we just jumped in too early, and like I tell all the guys in my chat room group, the Day Trading Plumber Telegram group, where we chat quite a bit. When you see price blowing past R2 early in the week, you want to sit on your hands a little bit. And I didn't take my own advice on some of these call outs and got in too early. Mostly because, we get excited when price finally gets to where we predicted it to go and where we want to enter our trades. That's why I'm saying the trend traders are probably loving this week, because everything is trending. Everything is in a definite trend, and it's lasting longer than normal. But I do think this pair, we're starting to see a good bearish activity. We're consolidating. I like this pair back to the R2. The blow through R2 method, right? It blows through, you trade back to R2, and then you possibly switch your game back to this trend trading. Canadian dollar, this one's probably red. No, I haven't really been. Kind of the same thing, guys. We see it right here. I like this short back to R2, right where we're at. This make or break zone I'm going to get rid of. And I'm going to bring our bullish. I'm going to want to be possibly bullish right in this area. I'm going to make it pretty a lot bigger. We could come all the way down to the pivot. You can see all my Sunday prediction arrows are completely wrong. Hence why the horrible week. This one we've already, you can see Sunday we predicted it going up. It did. Look at, we blew through R2. We've already come back to R2. And now we're just going to hover on there. So this one is definitely, we're not really trading anything yet. I'm going to just move my bullish zone up to this S2 in case we get a really good dip. But my guess is this thing's going to go sideways from here. And matter of fact, let's use the tools that we've created. I'm in a make or break zone right here. So I'm in a holding pattern. I want to see if we get a solid breakdown. This would be my TP. There's our bearish zone way up there. That would be a solid TP for if we get a break up. Okay, Euro AUD. Good old Euro AUD. So yesterday I did a call out right as my computer broke, so I never got posted. But we plotted this support based on the support pre-COVID. Okay, we had a really great support line dating all the way back to 2019, pre-COVID, and this whole monstrous mess is all the COVID. March, April, May-ish. Now we reached that support, and man, did we get some action off of that support. So guys, now what I'm gonna wait for, because I did not enter this trade because it kicked me in the balls this week already. I'm gonna wait for price to come back down to this range, show some signs of respecting this support again, and just keep taking buy trades off of this bottom until we get a decent pull back up to this range. Now, I think we're going to come back up into possibly this range right here. To be safe, let's look at that former support as a new resistance. So I think we're going to be bouncing in between these two zones for quite a while. I'm going to move my alert down here so I can catch that puppy when it gets down into that range. Euro Swiss franc. Good old. Okay, so the Swiss franc is one of the pairs that just continues to be getting its butt kicked. Right, I even got an alert from my broker saying that Swiss franc is, there's gonna be some severe spreads and swap charges on the Swiss franc. So that's what's killing the Swiss franc right now. I think what we're gonna have to do, guys, is doesn't mean I'm gonna sell from there. I just see price starting to consolidate, so I want to check it out. And I'm not a buyer. I'm just going to put the bullish right at the pivot. But guys, I think what we're going to have here is some sort of pullback to the make or break zone, this R2. So if you're feeling frisky, you could take this sell trade back to R2. Or you can wait, which is probably the better of the two in a week like this. Wait till it gets there. See if you can get a continuation of this trend off of that R2, possibly up to a whole new level. But here on the hourly chart, this looks like really dangerous move. But from somewhere here, that continuation, this is not a bad trade. Euro, British pound. Earlier in the week, we were looking at this drop. Sunday, we predicted it pretty well. It stopped on S2. Now, what I think we're going to see from here, guys, I think we're going to see a run back to the pivot here midweek. It's not a bad trade. If I was going to enter this, I'd wait for another dip down here, just enough to make you think you're wrong. However, we did cross over the 200 period moving average. We may only come up and retest it, and we might get a drop, a big drop. I am starting to see the start of a head and shoulders pattern, right? And if it comes back up to the pivot, it's a head and shoulders pattern. So you need to be really, really short-lived on that. Let's just draw it. You need to be pretty short-lived on your long trade here if you are trading this long. See that? So if you want to be long off this S2 all the way to that pivot, then I like to take my head and shoulder trades from here, and then I reevaluate my profitable trade here. And then if I get a break of that neckline, I wait for that retest, and I might enter a second trade. Or I close this profitable trade, I wait for that, then I wait for a retest, and then I ride that short down for quite some time. I like this. This is one to watch for sure, and I'm probably going to put it as one of my trades of the week in my free Telegram channel. If you want access to the free Telegram channel, click on the link in the show notes below. Go over to allenfx.com, fill out the form. You will get an email with free access to my Telegram channel, chat group, and a chance to enter the paid channel where you get all my discretionary trades I take on my own accounts. And yes, guys, I share my MyFX book links, and I don't have anything to hide. I take losses. This is going to be a losing week for me, the first one in a while, but it happens, right? It's trading. All right, Euro JPY. Okay, JPY just getting his butt kicked. You can see Sunday we were wrong, but now I think R2, where's our bearish? Do we not have let's go to a higher time frame. Man, I hate working off this smaller computer. So we don't have a bearish. I think it's time to draw one in, don't you? I like... bearish. I like that up there. So what I would say, guys, is I would wait for a pullback to R2. Then I would look for that continuation to that level. We've already blown past these, which you might get the retest on. This is the obvious next level. So if we go back to our hourly chart, you can see that's probably the safer trade. Not taking this sell trade, by the way. Normally, I would suggest you guys take this sell trade down to R2, and you're more than welcome to. But this is some sporadic price action. You're going against a very strong bullish move, which... after 10 years of mean reversion style trading, I kind of know when I'm out of my element. I kind of know when the strategies I've been using forever that have netted me great returns and, have retired me from being a plumber and now a full-time trader. I kind of know off my gut feeling, even though divergence usually tells me mean reversion. I kind of know when to hang up, and just give it and not fight this trend so hard. I do think we're going to get some sort of pullback. It's not going to be aggressive, and it's going to come back down to this level, and that's where I'm going to look for a continuation or a make or break level right here. And I do think price is going to get up to this this very strong resistance up here eventually, but it's not a good time to enter a buy trade right now. Just not. Euro NZD. All right. Look, we blew through our bullish zone. Very strong support, finally. We're in the process of making a attempt for a retest. So this is what we do here, guys. I don't know where my writing is. I need to spend some time on this now that I've gotten through the move, and now my computer broke. So I may be getting a brand new computer, which always sucks. Getting everything transferred over and getting familiar with it. But guys, I think this may have been the retest. I'd like to see a confirmed retest of this area, and then who knows? Let's jump up to a larger scale time frame. Holy moly. We could come I like this a little better. Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, what a crazy ride this has been on. If we go back to pre-COVID, right here, guys, pre-COVID, and if you remember the Euro AUD, it's hopefully reached that level now, and we're going to start seeing it consolidate. This is the Euro NZD, and here is the levels we were at pre-COVID. So if this pair is going to mimic the Euro AUD, which they're heavily correlated, this is a great play. This is a really good play. Great trade all the way down to pre-COVID levels. We still have 400 pips to get there. So not a bad one to call out. I'm going to get this one out on TradingView. I'm turning it purple because I want to come back to it. So here is the Euro US dollar first trade of the week for my free Telegram channel subscribers. And look, guys, it didn't work out. This is probably the first one that hasn't worked out. I jumped the gun a little bit. I was looking at a double top right here. We entered. R2 is already posted. And guys, I should have waited till R2. And that's where I would be entering now. Back to the pivot. I think this pair, because it's non-farm payroll, this is a great play back to the pivot from where we're sitting right now. Possibly down to this make or break. And I'm just going to move that up to the pivot. And I like our, I'm going to get rid of this alert. I like where we have our support so far. I really could move it right there, but let's leave it down here for now. But I do like this pair short. I'm probably going to get this one back out to those subscribers here too, quickly. Euro Canadian dollar. Okay, so here's a call out we did yesterday that Hopefully some of you guys took in the free channel and on TradingView. I'm going to do an update on this one today in TradingView. But strong support. It bounced, came up to the 200 period moving average. I actually think now we are still going to get... Oh, man, don't move the trade. Dumbass. I want the arrow. Give me the arrow. Well, I'll just draw a new one. I think we're going to get a push to that pivot still, guys. It just has to get to that pivot. All right, British pound, Australian dollar. Okay, what do we see? We broke this bullish zone. It's no longer valid as bullish. We'll just move you down here for now. And bye-bye alert. Actually, you know what? Let's leave the alert. Because now we're going to be bearish on a retest, which we're quickly almost there. Bye-bye prediction arrow. Come on, new prediction arrow. I'm going to be bearish. If we get a strong push up to here, and bam. Let's jump up to a high. Oh, you little booger. Okay. Let's zoom in. Zoom in for some surgery. Chart surgery. Well, guys, on the daily, ew, let's see. I know why they're calling that a good support. Let's stick with that for now. But I think we might. Let's just throw this one out there. Who knows, guys? We may come all the way down to this bottom again, which this is long before COVID. Here's COVID numbers. So, COVID just killing the pound and making Australian dollar strong throughout this whole thing. So, I'm going to look for a retest, and then we could get a really deep pullback all the way to this pivot. So, this one's a little dangerous. That one's dangerous. All those Australian pairs are dangerous. Pound CAD. Good old pound CAD. So our prediction, let's go back to our hourly. Get a little bit better. Price just hugging the pivot. We're just in a make or break zone. Nothing to report there. Pound Swiss franc. Okay, the Swiss franc has just been getting pounded. No pun intended. But is it time to get this pull or is it not? I think I like price to come back to that R2. We have lots of Knoxville divergence. But guys, like I said earlier, this is a very tough week for mean reversion. Things are not acting normal. This very well could pull up to where this former double top is, and you still have a little bit of upside on it. So be careful. I think if we pulled all the way up there, I might take that short trade. But I think the safer trade right now is wait till we get here, this make or break, and see what happens. You may get that final push. Oh, wait. Deleted the wrong arrow. There we go. Okay, British pound JPY. So I just put this one out there. It's already in profit. I love back to R2. I think later in the week, guys, later in the week on non-farm payroll, JPY tends to get stronger on all pairs, except for the UJ. US dollar JPY if the news is favorable on the US dollar. And as you can see, when we get to that pair is just crushing it. But we hit a really good bear zone. This one's already in profit. I think this is a really good TP1 or halfway, and then TP2, R2, especially with the week that we're in, guys. But like I said, we were patient. We waited for that push to the top of that zone, planted that seed good, and now we want to evaluate when we get down to this mini support level right here. British pound, NZD. Uh-oh. We have a break. Let's take that down. Let's take you. So, completely wrong on Sunday. We're right last week. Yeah, I like if we get a pull up there, back down here. Let's jump out to a larger time frame. See what we got. And it's not a bad support area. I mean, we could stretch it there because we were actually wanting to go short. So, yeah, I think if you get a good pull back up to this area, I don't think it's going to go all the way to pivot. I think it's going to retest this former support, new resistance, and I like it short down to this area, which, guys, December 2019, long time ago, COVID area, and it just declined. The Zealand dollar, Australian dollar just are crushing it on this COVID recovery. I'll tell you. GBP USD, you can see we predicted that on Sunday. But now I think we're going to get massive bearish activity. Back to R2 is the safe place. And possibly the pivot, guys. I like this channel we've been playing. I love it. We haven't broke through it yet. It's non-farm payroll week. We might get some favorable news on the US dollar. We might not. So we got Knoxville divergence. Like I said, this is a perfect setup that I look for mean reversion. However, when we're in the middle of a week like this, it's a little scary. It's a little scary when we get all these breakouts. Okay, Nzd Cad Breakout, right? Now we have to follow the rules of the structure, which tell me, go away. Which tell me, that's a total prediction that this is going to be a turnaround point. But like I said, if we could get to, if price comes back down to R2 or retests this, former resistance, confirms new support, this is a springboard. Now, if I go to a higher time frame, get a little bit more perspective, you can see we're hovering right around R2 on the daily. That's probably a more accurate placement for that zone, but you can see price is starting to respect it. So maybe a push up there, I would short it. But if price consolidates, hovers back down here, this would be where I want to springboard a buy. Somewhere in this range. Nzd CHF. Okay, so we are out of the channel. Let's take you up here for now. we blew out of that channel. I like you there now. Let's get rid of you, make or break. Here's my new make or break. So, this is an unconfirmed bearish zone. So, again, we want to see a retest of R2 or possibly all the way down here. Go away, old prediction arrows. And let's zoom out, see if that resistance level has any value. Not really, guys. This thing can come all the way up here. So here is COVID. Here's the recovery. We may see price recover all the way back up to pre-COVID levels. So this bearish zone has little to zero value, and all you're doing is you got a little bit of a sideways action here. So it's worthy of looking at. But the best trade is a retest of this area and to try to catch this thing going back to pre-COVID. Pre-COVID numbers. All right. Here's a New Zealand Jpy trade that crushed me. So now we move this up to here. It's unverified. And we move Mr. Bullish over here. Actually, I kind of like that level better as bullish. And, now we have a make or break. And guys, again, NZD coming back to pre-COVID levels. So I actually think I wouldn't be bearish till the top of this channel that was pre-COVID. But I do, bad time to enter. But if we come down to this make or break zone, that's where we want to look for that push. Don't let FOMO get a hold of you, because you may, I'm going to miss out on this. This is what traps you, you trend traders. If you get in FOMO, we could get a pull all the way down to this bullish zone. They were going to be really bullish. Yeah, it's just really bad. Here's another Nzd USD. Okay. Let's take our bullish up to unconfirmed zone, and I wouldn't be, or bearish, I wouldn't be really bullish till the tops of all these. Okay. Here's my make or break. We're almost, I like this little spike right here. Those wick stoppage are really, they really come into play later. See that little spike? If we continue this over, you can see it's a pretty good level that we're getting close to. And guys, non-farm payroll week, I'm going to say here's pre-COVID levels. We're almost back to pre-COVID levels. Then we'll see what price does there, right? And fundamentally, is COVID over? Is the second wave coming? Are these riots going to prolong small businesses and the economy from recovery? Are we going to see this decline back down to COVID levels? All fun questions. Okay, good old USD CAD. All right, guys. So, early in the week, I predicted price to get to S2 here, or this 200 period moving average. And you can see we've stalled out there. We have stalled out. It's hard to believe we're going to get that much more drop out of this. However, guys, Here's COVID levels, right? Here's February when everyone was still, hey, what's going on? So we could, with everything going on, I don't necessarily think I want to be a buyer until we get down here. I was looking for a bigger bounce. I think I'd be bearish if we pull back up. Let's go to the hourly. Let's get a little bit sharper vision. I think if we pull back up to this S2, that's where I want to be. I enter that sell trade. I don't want to enter down here because anything can happen down here. Got lots of fundamentals, non-farm payroll week. If we come up, retest this 200 period moving average on the 1 hour or this zone, this S2, that's where I want to look for this continuation down to that bullish zone. USD Swiss franc. All right, so we've hit our bullish zone. Let's go out to a 4 hour. And we got some positivity. But look, guys, we're almost back to the pivot. And my guess now is we're probably going to consolidate on this pivot. And we might even see a move up from that pivot. So this could be my make or break zone. And if we respect it, I love it back down to there. I like this trade more, but there we go there. Okay, USD JPY. Man, look at this buy trade that we predicted early in the week. Okay, so I'm going to do an update on this this trade because I think it was late last week or early this week. We plotted this make or break zone. And when price broke above it, broke this tops, right? When we broke above, it was hovering on this pivot for almost 2 weeks, right? Then we said, look, man, if it blows through this make or break zone, I want to be a buyer. So I called out, hey, we broke through it. Here's our prediction arrow on Sunday, right? Up. Then look at this. Now we're consolidating a little bit. So we probably should take our profit and see what's going to happen next. I'm guessing just because let's get rid of all this mess. I'm guessing we're going to get a pull back to here. This is our new make or break zone. Actually, no. This could be our new bullish zone. Test this top. I think we might get that pull down. And then this is going to be right where we want to look for that bust up to this level is way up here, way up there. But here is COVID, pre-COVID, right? We got this huge whipsaw. This is pre-COVID levels. Oh my God, COVID. Oh my God, it's not that bad. But guys, I think we're coming back up to pre-COVID highs on this pair. Just have a feeling because all these other pairs are getting there. Now, fundamentally, if COVID second wave comes or these riots here in the U.S. start to really take its toll on the reopening, we could see this thing shoot back down here. So that's always the danger. All right, guys, that's it for this week's weekly midweek review. I apologize for the equipment issues I'm having, but if you guys are enjoying this channel, I'd love the support. Subscribe here on YouTube, hit like, Throw some comments in there if you think I'm crazy. If you want to jump into my Telegram channels, I have a free one where I put 2 or 3 trades of the week. They're usually longer swing trades, so people have plenty of time. Going over to Allen FX, fill out the form. You'll get that link for free, as well as an hour-long basics Forex training course. And then if you want to get all of my discretionary trade signals in real time with my live account, my FX book links, go over to the Journeyman channel, click on that link, and subscribe to that Telegram channel. It's only $20 a week or a month, guys. And I do a free 1-hour AMA, Ask Me Anything, every Thursday. This Thursday, we're going to review we're going to backtest popular trading strategies and see if we can't make some tweaks to it to better our odds and get ourselves sharper as traders. All right, guys, don't forget to hit subscribe, like, comment, help me out, give me some support. It costs you nothing, just a click of the mouse. And have a great week, and let's go make some money together. All right, over and out.